Barbara, good morning. So Kyiv will be under curfew for 35 hours.
That's right, Michael. In fact, that curfew has already begun. It will go on until Wednesday morning local time. That, as you say, is a total of 35 hours. Shops, pharmacies, petrol stations will all be closed during that curfew. Now, the mayor, Vitaly Klitschko, announced that following the shelling of a shopping mall in a residential area. 8 people were killed, it's reported, in that attack. The Russians say that the shopping mall was housing weapons, claims denied by the Ukrainians. A number of apartment buildings, the mayor says, are now no longer inhabitable following that attack overnight here. He says in total more than 70 apartment buildings in the capital have now been destroyed in what's now 3.5, getting on close to 4 weeks of war. And as you say, Kyiv, the capital, continuing to be under heavy bombardment pretty much every night of this conflict.
The city of Mariupol continues to be a key flashpoint. Ukraine, Barbara, is still refusing Russia's demands to surrender that city.
That's right. Ukraine never really entertained those demands. Russia said it would offer civilians and the military safe passage out of the city if they laid down their arms. That was a non-starter for the Ukrainians. It's very difficult to know what's happening there today. An offer that the Russians made of those corridors was off the table after the Ukrainians officially rejected laying down their weapons. So there's no corridors even being attempted there today. There were a couple of journalists in there from the Associated Press who've been documenting, I guess, the horrors of that siege over the past couple of weeks. They've now come out of the city. One of them has given a pretty searing account of his time there and of his escape, saying he felt numb, he felt ashamed, he said, to be leaving behind people who had helped shield him as the Russians, he said, came hunting him. His name was on a list, he said, of people they were hunting down. So I think it's going to be increasingly difficult to really know what's going on in Mariupol, but it's certain that the stories that we do hear will continue to be, I think, of death and destructions. The Russians really want to take that strategic port, and we're also hearing that there's been some shelling, according to the Ukrainians, some shelling on the outskirts of Odessa. Now, as you know, that's another city that people have been closely watching there on the Black Sea. That's a port that the Russians would certainly like to take, and the Ukrainians today indicating that some kind of assault on Odessa might also be beginning.
Barbara Miller in Lviv, thank you so much for the update.